We're back at Soft Fun for another Japan unboxing video. I have no idea what's in here yet again. A year on from last year. Great start. Right then, I'll show you what we've got. So, the first thing I'm saying is a bunch of PlayStation 3 games. So we've got Metal Gear Rising. If you're a Metal Gear fan, starting off with Yakuza 4. We've got Gundam Breaker. There's a few Gundam games that I think were early released on PlayStation 3 in Japan. There's quite a few of them. And then I'm pretty sure this is Fight of the North Star. It's quite an expensive game when it's English actually, in comparison to the Japanese counterpart. You'll find that quite a lot with Japanese games. I've said before that some of the Japanese games are cheaper than getting them in English, so it saves our pockets. Sometimes even have English options, even better. Moving on, we've got some Nintendo 64 games. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Just the boxes on these are just so much better than what we've got over here, in my opinion. Like, look more like VHS-y compared to like the side kind of ones that we get. I just think they look amazing. I mean, just look at the art on that. Beautiful. So we always get the Pokemon games. So Pokemon 2 is our Pokemon Stadium 1. So their 1 is technically 0, so we never got that one. So that's 2. That is the one that we've got over here. But I'm pretty sure we'll find plenty more. We always get them ones in. We've got a wrestling game here. Now, I've actually never seen this one before, which is really saying something. You know, it has a lot of the Japan guys on there. Yeah, I've never actually seen this game before, which is kind of a bit of a shock, but I kind of love like this cutesy kind of artwork they've got on there. Again, the Japanese artwork's just always next level. Usually see the Fire Pro games and it's a bit more like an actual graphic of someone on there, like a bit more like this on there, where I see like a floating head. Yeah, that's interesting, so that might not even make it to the shelf, who knows. Got Mario 1, 2 and 3 USA collection there, so essentially Super Mario All-Stars, Mario 64. We've always got a fairly eclectic bunch of Japanese Mario games. You'll see them pretty often at Southampton, to tell you the truth, so usually get the whole lot whenever we can see them. But as well as that, I'm starting to see in here, obviously I'm getting a bit of a sneak peek while you're seeing what I'm pulling out. Got a few Kirby items. So we've got a fan, we've got a desk fan, and we've got a thing, a house. So, you know, we always like to get a little, you know, a good bunch of these Kirby items. Usually the next one's always weirder than the last. But yeah, we usually get like a lot of fans and things like that. It's a bit ironic because we're currently filming in not quite winter, but going towards winter, so probably not going to need them right now, but definitely ready for summer coming. And great for a Christmas present, so even better. Moving on, we're going to move something on a bit bigger now actually. Some of these people, a lot of people I know that have come in the shop, I've never seen one of these in the flesh, or in the plastic as it were. This is a Rob. Now I'm going to actually open this up. So our mate, Rob the Robot, aka HVC012, if you really want the code. So this is Rob. Sometimes people see what's called the Gyromite and think that it's a Rob, but it's not. It's a much bigger box that you can see in person, you know, bigger than my head, which again is saying something. So we'll open it up and we'll just give you a complete sneak peek into this one actually. Boom. So this is our mate Rob. I'm sure you've just seen the Gyromite behind me. Yeah, so the Rob, you know, was kind of sold more of a toy because, you know, there was a video game market crash, so there was a lot of more things made or intended for the NES and the Famicom. And Rob is absolutely one of them things that were made, and we've got another one right under there as well. So like I say, you can get the Gyromite, and the Gyromite would be where you could like move round different colour slots and stuff, and you'd use the controller. So there's a few things with that. I'm not the most read up on the Rob, to be honest, but it's just a really unique piece of Nintendo history and video game history, really. You might even see Rob in the Mario Kart DS game as well as an unlockable character. If I spoiled that for you, then sorry. Moving on. We've got another Kirby item here. It looks like a snow globe, or a globe of some description, which is this. Is it Hamtaro? Is that what it's called, Connor? In the middle?
I can't remember his name. It's not. They are very similar.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's in the second or third game. You know, can't beat a hamster, I suppose. I always think, like, you know, all the pictures and artwork I see of, sorry, I can't remember it, of the hamster and the Kirby team, but always look really sick. I'm not a, you know, massively read up on the Kirby franchise, so I couldn't really tell you too much, but again, another unique item to put on the side of your desk, or put on your wherever, and enjoy. Speaking of unique Kirby items, if you're struggling and you're watching this YouTube video and you're thinking, I just really wish I wasn't listening to this through my laptop, use these. So, headphones, you've either got the pink flavour, or you've got the pink flavour, which I thought there was a blue one, but there's not. So, there you go, completely Bluetooth, no wires, on the go. If you want to show everyone your Kirby love of the 30th anniversary, then these are the best way to go. I can't think of any other better reason to advertise that, really. If you can think of a better way to advertise it, put it in the comments, because we thrive for an algorithm. Moving on, we've got another Kirby item. Good Day Kirby. And we've got one of them keys. Yeah. I assume this makes noises by the dots that are here. Again, another unique Kirby item. We've got many of them. You're going to keep seeing more of them. Keep watching the page, keep seeing what we're posting in the group, and you're going to see plenty more. To be honest, you could probably tell me more what that is than me. Please do. Like I say, fill them comments up. We love it. Just as seen as that disc cam fan before, we've got another one. There it is at the top if you want to see a different angle for that. Beautiful. I think in some of them as well, sometimes you can put water in and do different things. It just depends. I don't think you can on that one though, just to specify. Another Kirby item. So this one displays light around your room. So if you're either still wet in the bed, or if you're scared of monsters, this is perfect. Or if you just like light on your ceiling to make you think of Kirby and count Kirby as you go to sleep, that's an option. Lovely item for something a little bit different. Cool, like I say, the weird and the wonderful is always the best way, in my opinion. Now, check out and see what this is. Simple wrap. Let's open this baby up. Next one. I've got Kirby on a tree, which I'm sure has a name. And the name, I don't know. Now I know what you're thinking right now. There's a lot of Kirby things in here, and Liam, why haven't you read up on what these Kirby items are? And the honest truth is, I didn't know there were Kirby items in here, so that is the honest answer on that one. Didn't seem plenty and plenty of Kirby stuff, all lined up right beside me on my right hand side, your left. Now what could be confused as Kirby, but is not, is Jigglypuff. Now this is like a pop kit, similar to kind of like the Gundam style where you pop everything together. If you see here, you can kind of see, oh in fact that's actually even better. It's showing you the different stages of where you pop out them kits and pop them together. We've had quite a few of these before, like Pikachu and other like more popular people in the franchise. Kirby's just as popular as the others. Jesus. Jigglypuff is just as popular as the others. Pink's confusing me. Pink and round. Pink and round, we like it. That's the sort of motto, so I've been told. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of Patriots. Another PlayStation 3 game. What I didn't mention on this video, I have plenty of times before, is that PlayStation is region fee for PlayStation 3 games. So, don't matter if it's Japanese, don't matter if it's American, don't matter if it's European, they all play on each other. So bear that in mind. Like I say, you can get games generally much cheaper, the Japanese PlayStation 3 from us. than buy them European. So keep that in mind. Now in here we've got a bunch of disc system games. So we've purchased these together. So this really is a random get really, because you'd have to read what they are on the side. Now I'm sure Kenny probably knew what these are, but I do not. We're going to open them right here in 1080p right now.
4K.
4K right now. Right then, got some paper, don't know what that is. We've got Ultraman. Now this is the Famicom disc, if I didn't explain that. Probably should have done, but I am now nevertheless. So this was like an add-on to the Famicom, so you can play these disc system games. The library's not massive, so it means if you did want to collect all these games, it's not the most difficult thing to go for. But obviously they never came out in Europe or America. So if you're getting them, you're getting them Japanese. So I'd say it's the best place to get them really, because you know you ain't getting them from Tesco and you ain't getting them from Morrison's, so you may as well come to Saw Fun for them. Don't know what that one is, to tell you the truth. Well, this is kind of the part of it, because you know we all know so much about like games, retro games, different gaming things in this shop. When things come in and we don't know what they are, I love it because it's just something else for me to learn about. The more to learn, the better, right? So I'll probably do a little bit of research on them. If you know what they are already, again, tell me in them comments down below. Hit that like while you're doing it. You know, all that stuff that YouTubers say, don't we love it? Improve the algorithm, please. I'm really desperate. Anyway, so moving on to our mate Charmander. This is the Vajazzled version, which then separated to the rest of it. So if you want the Vajazzled Charmander and you want it on your keys, it's perfect. Or if it's really dark and you've got like a light shining down, then you can see all the gems shine up and like, oh yeah, they're my keys, thank you. So yeah, great. Anyway, so this is a Spice Orange GameCube controller. We do have some Spice Orange as well, none in this box, so I can explain that now. This colourway only came out in Japan. They did it with the GameCube, they did it obviously with its own controller. They also do a version on the Game Boy Advance as well, which we've had before. I love this colour, I think it pops. Why we didn't get it in other places, I don't know. Just a really beautiful colour. Even if you just want the controller, if you already have a GameCube, I think they're really worth buying. And we do have separate ones as well to buy. So it's not just you have to get the console for it to go with it. Really recommend it. I just think they look cool. Or, you know, if you're doing a video like me now, you could have a GameCube set up and then you pretend you're really cool and own the Spice Orange one and just have the controller. You never know what's happening in the background, yeah. Moving on. Final Fantasy 6 on the Super Famicom. Also known here as the SNES, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, thank you. So, if you're a Final Fantasy collector, we've actually got a Final Fantasy section, or did have a partial Final Fantasy section here in the cabinet. So you've seen all that great stuff going in there. That'll be another addition just to slide in there when we're ready. And what I'll probably do after this video is I'm going to have a very quick whip around here, just to show you. Anyway. That again, Kirby thing. We've got another Kirby thing in bubble wrap again. So we'll just set this bubble wrap off. Just like everything else, it's not an item. See you later.
Whoa, hit the camera.
Yeah, I know. Got to practice that, couldn't I? So it looks like a vinyl player, but obviously it doesn't actually play vinyls because vinyl players are much larger. But I wonder if this plays music, and I have not done my Japanese in a while, so I could not tell you because I can't read it. But what I can tell you is that it does spin, so Kirby will spin on there. And is it Waddle Dee? Is that what they call them? One of these watching on, so there you go. I do know something about Kirby after all, even if I did need someone to confirm it. Tamagotchi. Now these are just sick, complete 90s fuel. If you were born in the 90s or grew up in the 90s, you had one of these. Obviously, they originated Japan, as all good things do in this kind of category. So, no virtual reality pet, These are really cool. I assume this is the colour of it that's on the back. We've got a few more of these, so we do have a mix. We do have some Tamagotchi collectors, so I'd say kind of grab them quick if you can. Moving on to match to the Dazzle Charmander, we've also got the Squirtle version. I'm not making the pun, so we're going to leave that there. Move on. Connor's shaking his head. We're all having fun. So, Snorlax. You probably can't see what this is because I'm holding it at a certain angle, and it's because it is a purse. Now, if you're a fan of real money, I want to spend real money, then you can use this. Soft in there as well. Use it as an hand puppet if you really want. But yeah, that's cool. Just want to chuck up a few pound in there or something. Put your card in there. You want to be fashionable. You want to accessorise. You want people to know that you like Pokemon. Know that you know Pokemon. This is the thing to go. Obviously, I'm not going to untie this now, but you could hang it off your shoulder. Amazing. What more could I really say about that? Star Ride. I won't unbox this one, but we've got another Kirby figure. This one's outside of the box. To put on the side. We've got a 2-in-1. If you like Dratini. Yes, I know Pokemon. Then we've got this Pocket Monsters, Dratini, wallet, or whatever. You could probably put Game Boy cartridges in there if you wanted as well. If you wanted to put some Game Boy cartridges on the go. Oh, something a bit different. Never really seen that before. We just want like a little bit of storage, or it's on your keys, or you can either put it on like your trousers there. Again, you want to accessorise. Got accessorise, guys. Mixes it up from the mundane. Boom, we've got another one, Pikachu. So I think what this is telling me is that Lee is really wanting people to spend real cash money in the shop and not the digital, because he's bringing back all these things that you can put money in. There you go, you could scrunch up your £5 notes in there. Again, unfortunately you can't accessorise with this one because it has no hook. But nevertheless, you've got a Pikachu thing to work your magic and your Pokemon. Again, you could probably put cartridges in that as well, actually. Right, we're going to look at the last Pokemon item before we move on to a few cartridges that are going to be the last thing in here. So this is also a wallet. Can you believe it? This one's a lot more compact, but also a lot more cool. So it pays off in the difference. Again, you could put that on your keys. You could put that on your bottom half, as I've displayed earlier. You could put it on your bag. If you can hook it, it goes on it. What more could you ask for? It's quite nice as well, quite soft. Even if you want to like chuck it at your older brother from across the room, you can do that. Many options. Now that I've stopped being a pest to Connor, we are going to move on to some cartridges. We'll start off with these Famicoms. So what we actually do is when we sell Famicoms, we like to put in games. So you've got something to play already, and a lot of the time you look at stuff like this and you think, what is it? What is that? What can it be? And the answer is, I don't know. And that is why, you know, you've got to play some random games, because you're going to play random games on the Famicom that you've never played before. That's the love of having some of these Japanese consoles that release so many games that we never got over here. And of course, there's games that we love as well, like Mario's, etc, etc. So we've got a golf game and we've got a mystery game that I'm not going to butcher the Japanese on, because I would. We've got Mahjong. That's one thing that I'm not going to butcher. If you don't know what Mahjong is, just Google it. And then that is English, but I'm not going to butcher that either.
Go on.
Xavius? Xavius? Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm an idiot in the comments, and you're probably right. Right then. Super Famicom Des. Pro Football. You're going to see many sport games in these packs. Don't tell them. Got Dragon Quest, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. Glad it wasn't 7, alright, so it would have been going longer. Got Excite Stage, which probably sounds more exciting than it actually is because it has a football on it. But nevertheless, if you like football, if you know football, know Manchester, like Manchester, you like that game, but Manchester's probably not on it. We've got Hole in One. And not to be derogatory, we are on about the golf game. I'm kind of getting the bad ones out of the way, as you can probably tell. Or you might like them, I don't know, no mean for offence. And then I think we've got a basketball game. What's interesting, a lot of like these sport games, you always have like anime kind of style graphics, or like, you know, Japanese style graphics or illustration, which I think looks really cool. And, you know, I'd love to see games that look like this now. I think that would be something that conceptually they should do, or there should be more of out there. You know, it's one of them, you always see the box art somewhere. We all have that time in Blockbusters where you got the VHS because the cover looks sick. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes they don't even look like what you've got on there. But I kind of love that about, you know, the artwork and stuff, and kind of discovering new games, even if they are sports games. It's something different, it's kind of cool for the collection as well. Got Space Invaders. Any retro or gaming fan knows what that is, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's not just Space Invaders, but it's also Space Invaders, the original game. So it's original. Think about it. We've got Super Bomberman 3. If you didn't have enough with 1 and 2, you can play 3. Cool. I love the Bomberman franchise. Funnily enough, the Bomberman franchise, just to give you a little bit of insight, is one of the first games that kind of got me into retro games. So I got into it through my cousin. He had, I can't remember what it was now because I was too young to remember what the console was that we actually played on. But I remember Bomberman was one of the things we originally started playing on. So if it weren't for Bomberman, I probably, well, not probably, might not be here. Or at least, anyway, I'm rambling. Super Mario Kart. This is the last cartridge in there. Everyone knows Mario. And there's not much more to say. The Mario Kart franchise is just absolutely iconic. I mean, the Mario Kart games, you know, are definitive of what some of the main consoles are. I mean, look at now with the Nintendo Switch 2, you know, how that console's pretty much sold alone on Mario Kart. And this is the one that started it all on the Super Famicom. Just cool to think in it, you think. I always try to think, what happened if a certain game like this one never came out? Where we would be, what would happen, what games wouldn't have been made, what games wouldn't have been inspired. And this really is a part of history, and you can own it here at Southern Retro Games. So brilliant, so that's everything in this box. So I'm going to go very, very quickly around the room and just show you, without wrecking the cabinets, what kind of stuff you can get. So a lot of this is going to be Japanese, as you can tell. So we've already looked at the Final Fantasy section that's here. Next to that, we've got a Yakuza Like a Dragon, section there. I'm going to see a lot more stuff in there, but you can see over the end there, which is Dead Souls over here, and is very, very, very expensive when it's in English. So £15 on the Japanese version is an absolute steal, to say the least. We've got some non-kind of Japanese bits kind of hanging about here, but there might be some mixed in of PlayStation 3, Xbox, PlayStation 2, kind of a general mix. You're going to see some of the vintage stuff onto this side. And bearing in mind, after this, you've seen this video, this is probably going to completely change, so, because these, you know, they're forever changing these cabinets, but they're brand new, so I thought I may as well show you. We've got a Virtual Boy. Again, Japanese have come through. We've got quite a few at the moment. Again, they were exclusive to Japan and America, I believe, and then never came over here, so that's something nice to see. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it. We've got some wrestling bits there kind of hanging about. We've got some AES cartridges and games there kind of hidden away. And so mixed stuff there. We've got this Namco collection that we got from Japan. We've got just under that these taiko drums. These are really cool. If you've never been to the arcade and played it, basically you can bring the arcade home, you can play that on PlayStation 2, they would have to be modded, unfortunately. And you just tap away on that. They're really, really cool if you just want like a fun rhythm game to play. Kind of, you know, Guitar Hero-esque, I suppose. But I'd say personally easier. We've got loads of Godzilla stuff and Kaiju stuff up here, as you can see. A few Puppet Master stuff in the corner. We don't always see that. That's kind of more of the unregular things that are here. So we always get different Godzilla stuff. I'd say it's definitely more Godzilla than other Kaiju, but we do get other Kaiju stuff as well, which if you come down here, you're going to see even more of it. You know, you get the mecha stuff, etc, etc. Again, I'm not going to butcher any of the names on there. We'll move across. We've got Ghostbusters thing over here. Then this is kind of like our main feature cabinet. We've got the Rob there. We've got the Gyromite in the back, labelled not Rob. Got loads of wrestling stuff over here. So I'm just going to kind of breeze over this stuff because it's not necessarily Japanese, though we do have a Great Muta VHS there, and we have a Great Muta here. So we do have some of like Japanese figures as well that you can't get over. Another Great Muta there, which is pretty sick. So yeah, nice wrestling section. And then we're coming back over here where you can see the Metal Gear section. So it might have sold, or might not have it, but we have the original Metal Gear game that was on the Famicom version in there usually. We keep kind of all our main PlayStation 2 stuff there. So yeah, we have like a Metal Gear stuff going on here. We have like a horror section going here. But if we slip up, perfect, we have the Resident Evil Biohazard section. And I think, you know, Sawfront's pretty iconic for having a mixture of Biohazard items, really. We get some really uncommon stuff. We get the basics. We get stuff in nice condition. Get stuff with the Obi strips. We get loads. And to be honest, that's all I'm going to show you for now. So if you're not already, start subscribing to us, hitting that bell for all the notifications, follow us on the social media. You know what to do at this point. We are going to do more videos. We've already released some videos. So stay in tune and you're going to see more